A retrospective of the work of venerated German filmmaker Wim Wenders has been taking place here at the Museum of Modern Art in New York. Wenders was a very influential figure in the new German cinema movement of the 1970s. All told, he's made some 50 films, including some that people regard as classics, such as Paris, Texas and Wings of Desire. He's not just a filmmaker, he's also an author and photographer. And it's a photographer who's the subject of his latest film.
A photographer is literally somebody drawing with light.
Wim Wenders himself can be heard in The Salt of the Earth, providing some narration in the story of 71-year-old Sebastiao Salgado, one of the world's greatest photographers who came from a small town in central Brazil. The film explores Salgado's life and the work of this social documentary photographer.
He didn't start as a photographer, he was an economist. Traveled mostly in Africa and started to take pictures, but only to accompany his reports. And then he realized these pictures interested in him much more, and the contact he was able to establish with the people, that was more of him was in there than in the written reports he fabricated.
One of his more potent photographs is Mines of Serra Pelada. To your mind, what is so effective about that photograph and where was it taken?
One day he found this incredible gold mine in Brazil where 50,000 men were working in prehistoric conditions with their hands in this big hole. These photographs made him famous.
He has an incredibly striking aesthetic. His photographs are beautiful. What do you make of the charge that some have made over the years that he makes the horrific beautiful?
The charge of aestheticizing misery is a very strange one, because photographers have a function in there, and for a photographer to pay respect to the person he photographs, even if it's a person in distress, I think is to make a good photograph.
The documentary has been co-directed by Salgado's son, who closely observed his father working on some of his later projects. He confirms rather than objectify his subjects, his father collaborates with them.
We traveled together with Sebastiao to the Zoe tribe. They are a tribe in Brazil that have had very few contact with the outside world. They live the way they have lived from 50,000 years ago. But actually that's amazing, because they actually know, they understand what's happening when Sebastiao takes a photo. They can actually see it. Now he makes photos with those new, electronic camera, and you can see the photo on the back. And that's one of the ways that he actually creates a bond with them. And so they understand what's happening, and it's a collaborative work.
For Sebastiao Salgado, it hasn't all been smooth sailing. He found taking pictures of the genocide in Rwanda really took a personal toll.
He really withdrew to the farm of his father in Brazil, and had to come to terms with the fact that this land was dead. And it was his wife, in order to build up the spirit of the family, that suggested to build a few thousand trees to commemorate the farm of the father, and they did that. And doing so, they realized if you plant a few thousand trees, out of a sudden water sources come back to life. And they've planted 2.5 million trees and became the first humans on this planet to reforest the Atlantic rainforest, and prove that damage done to this planet can be reversed. And that freed him to also pick up his camera again and photograph nature.
The documentary has won a slew of festival prizes. It's a testament to Sebastiao Salgado's greatness as a photographer and Wim Wenders' ability to convey through film what exactly makes him tick.